Excellent.
Okay. So KD, how are you doing?
Very well, and you?
Yeah, as well as I can during COVID. Australia's been relatively lucky, especially where I am. Victoria, not so much, but the rest of Australia we've had not the worst situation. How is Canada? How's Canada handling COVID?
It was quite controlled for the last month, but again, as we can see, it's the second wave that they are talking about. It has already hit. I live in British Columbia, Vancouver, and we see the numbers rising quite a bit. And Montreal went up to about 900, Toronto about 500 plus. So yeah, it's coming back again, but people are smart enough. They're wearing the masks that they need to, keeping the social distance, and they're taking all the precautions.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. I was surprised at how long this lasted. I mean, perhaps I was naive, but I thought this might be a few months at the beginning of the year. I thought, okay, this will be a tough little few months there, but looks like this could go up until the end of next year potentially. So it's going to be a long journey.
Absolutely. I pretty much just like you, there were so many of us who just thought this would probably be over. It's like a flu thing, comes
Mm.
and goes. But at the same point in time, yeah, we feel it's going to be till next year, and end of next year. I do not know, but yeah, it's going to go for a long time.
Yeah, of course, unless there's a vaccine, maybe in the immediate future. But who knows? Who knows with these things? You can never really tell.
Absolutely. And by the time the vaccine also reaches, the distribution will be the biggest challenge. That how does it reach like billions of people, even
Mm.
though it comes out, but when does it get to everybody in every part of the world is a big question.
Yeah, and I also saw polls that there's huge amounts of people who are afraid of them now because of the fear that it's going to be rushed. So even the vaccine could be, a lot of people may not take it. It may not be the final cure for COVID. So it's gonna be very interesting. Let's say 12 to 18 months potentially, but hopefully less. Hopefully on the shorter side. But KD, you are the founder, you're the CEO of CanMar'S Recruitment, which is a Vancouver-based company. It's a cannabis company that works on recruitment. But of course, your journey didn't begin there. It actually began in India. So can you tell me a little bit about your early career?
100%. Great question. So I started this back in 2001, close to 2002. I got into recruitment. I was trying to help a friend, an ex-Citibank HR manager, as I was working with Citibank for a short stint. And they wanted some people, and I had no idea about what was HR, what was recruitment. They just wanted me to bring in some people that they were looking for. That they gave me some specs, and I got around and found some people, found some friends who were looking for jobs. And like I said, I had no idea, but 7 people got jobs that day, and one of the guys' father was there, and he got so emotional at that point in time that I was able to help save his son's life. I don't know what it meant at that point in time, but that was it. That was a turning moment for me. That I had already quit my job. I wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to help another ex HR manager by finding more people, to do their job, and it was a turning moment when it got so emotional. I was like, okay, great. You know what? I was able to help somebody find a job. I was able to make a difference in their life, and I was going to get paid for it, for
Mm.
getting them a job. So it was just a win-win for everybody. And I never looked back. I fell in love with the industry. I fell in love with the fact that I was able to make a difference in someone's life. So that's how it started. And I did that for about 6 years, till about 2008. I was so much into hiring for banking and insurance back in India, and we all know what happened in 2008, and everything just fell apart. And then I started traveling a bit. I started exploring other places, other countries, try to go to the UK and set up operations there. Came to Canada, trying to look, okay, what is it that I can do? finally, again, moved to Canada and started Destination One Consulting here, which is the parent company for Recruitment, and started hiring for different sectors, technology to engineering, construction, real estate, you name it. But towards 2017, end of 2017, one of our clients from the parent company reached out saying they got a license to produce. And I asked them, okay, what is that? Started educating myself more on the industry, and we got them a financial controller. Financial controller was just a start, and what happened in the next 30 days was very interesting, that we ended up hiring about 70 people for them, from their
Wow.
chief scientists to extraction people to procurement, retail, sales and marketing. This was a brand new industry for us. And that's how it all started. And now CanMar has more than 60 to 70 clients within North America, a few in the EU, UK, and other places.
Wow. And, something that you mentioned that I don't think a lot of people think about, or maybe they do, but the satisfaction of employment is not just, obviously you get to pay the bills, you get to put food on the table, but it's meaning for a lot of people. And when people are unemployed for a long time, that creates depression. It creates a lot of mental health issues, as you mentioned. So it's beyond just helping people get paid. It's also giving them something to continue doing and continue providing meaning for them. And you also mentioned that you began the parent company for CanMar, but you've also founded several other companies. So what are those companies? And also, why do you think you have this kind of entrepreneurial mindset? What is it about you that makes you want to continue beginning companies?
I love creating new stuff. We as humans, our minds have the limitless capability if we use it in the right way. It's I love creating new opportunities for people. So Destination One Consulting, as I mentioned, is a specialized recruitment company. It caters to technology sector, construction, real estate, pharmaceutical as well to an extent, and many others. And then we have a temporary staffing company called Bloo Recruitment. Well, if we all run the statistics these days, people, the gig economy that we talk about, or the fractional work, people with the new millennial generation, people don't want to stick to just one job and for too long. So how do you address all that? Shorter stints, and so Bloo Recruitment caters to that. People do temporary, they want to do 1-day job, or they want to do a week's job or a month's contract. That's how Bloo Recruitment works. And then we've got CanMar'S Recruitment, obviously. That's what we are talking about. And that's specialized only in the cannabis industry, hiring as of now. And I'm very excited about a new venture that we are starting. It's called Lemon Technologies. I don't want to talk too much about it, but just to get you an idea, it will address, if we, God forbid, if there's another pandemic, something or the other keeps coming up, but if there's another one that's coming up, and then again, millions of people are losing jobs, Lemon will address that problem to make sure people keep employed even through fractional work or whatever we can do. So we're still at the idea stage. The development would start in about a month's time, and I'm very excited about that too.
I'm excited to hear about that as well. And obviously you've since moved to Canada, which in many ways, I guess you could say, is the hub of cannabis at this stage. How is that going? How is the cannabis industry in Canada? How are you finding that?
It's volatile for sure. Although we have our legalization in place since the last 2 years, we're going to be completing 2 years shortly. And there's so many new things that we're getting to learn these days. I see the industry where it's going to go is going to go towards more of extraction, micro cultivators, and on that side versus really bigger giants trying to think that they can take over the world and the entire cannabis industry. Didn't work. That approach was tried. A lot of people lost a lot of money.
Mm,
It's again, it's at a nascent stage, and we're all learning. Companies are learning. They're making mistakes, and the good part about other countries is that they get to learn from the mistakes that we are making here.
mm,
And the government regulations, they're hard here. It takes time. It's new, and
mm.
anything new just takes time. And the Canadian market is adapting to it. It's a great market. We know that towards the south, it's not federally legal. The elections are coming up. I do not know who's going to win or what is going to happen, but everybody's hoping that it goes legal at a federal level. And I'm sure in New Zealand as well, we are voting for a yes, that
Mm.
supporting the buzzy KD, so that it goes legal. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and I see cannabis industry is here to stay and stay for a long time, and it's going to stabilize itself. It's just taking a natural course. It's the teething issues. So Canada is definitely doing a decent job. I know we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, as does the rest of the world. But one thing I've noticed during COVID, and you've probably seen this yourself, is that cannabis sales have increased, cannabis consumption has increased during COVID. And I think that's really a testament to how durable the industry is. I mean, there, of course, are these teething issues, but I do think it's here to stay. And I think this is the ultimate proof of that, is that even during this struggle, people are still consuming cannabis, they're still turning to the industry. It's still being resilient in the face of, this immense economic downturn and terrible unemployment, I should say, but very high levels of unemployment. But let's get to CanMar, which is your baby, let's say. Tell me a little bit about CanMar and what you guys do. You've touched upon it briefly.
So CanMar Recruitment, what it does is it's a specialized HR and recruitment company in this cannabis industry. So what we do here is, let's say an employer, a licensed producer, extraction company, a retailer, when they're looking for talent, they reach out to us asking, hey guys, could you find us so-and-so person with this type of a skill set? Let's say a company reaches out to us and says, okay, I'm looking for a director of extraction and product development. So we know what it takes and what are the kind of specifications, but every company has their own, the basic hard skills, which are the education and so on and so forth, are the same. It's the cultural fit that is the most important as well. While you can have all the education in the world, you need the right attitude from a person as well. So that's what CanMar does. We are a headhunting company. So we go find those people and we present those top screened, shortlisted, interviewed candidates to our clients, and we take them through the interviews with the client. We work shoulder to shoulder, just making sure we get the right people in the door, and we help people get jobs. That's what we do at CanMar Recruitment. And fortunately, coming from a recruitment background, we saw this anticipation is power, as they say. We anticipated, okay, how the industry would build. And so we started targeting about 16 different industries outside of cannabis at that point in time. This is about 2 years ago for us. And we started reaching out to people, building network. Hey, if you were to ever move into the cannabis industry, what would it look like? And this was a worldwide reach for us. And we are still continuing to do so. And educating people and bringing them onto our database, so that let's say we go into the New Zealand market, Australian market, Germany, wherever it may be, in any part of the world, that we know who is going to be looking for a job in the cannabis industry, who is open. It's not only the interested people, it's also the curious minds that you have to educate. So CanMar is, in a nutshell, an HR recruitment company, and with a lot of education for people who want to get into the industry. We love to, share knowledge with them.
Mm. Yeah, because I think when a lot of people think about cannabis, there are kind of the typical jobs they think of. So it might be a dispensary, it might be cannabis cultivation. But are there any other adjacent industries that aren't specifically to do with cannabis, which have a lot of the same transferable and applicable skills for the industry?
You know what? This is a amazing question. I've faced this question many times, so I'll tell you this, and this is what we know and what we feel that after doing this work for the last 3 years, it's pretty much from any industry. People who have the transferable skills can come from any industry. Could be pharmaceutical. Yes, we would say that, okay, pharmaceutical, it's very close to cannabis, but not in so many ways as well. So the food industry, absolutely, hands down, because it is highly regulated. A lot of people come from the food industry, the agricultural part of the industry. I have seen people come from the tech sector because even these cannabis companies, they need technology people, system administrators, help desk people, if they're setting up their customer service, something like that. So people can literally come from any industry as long as they have the aptitude, and they want to get into the industry. So it's not only going to be cannabis industry is not only for people trying to do a job in a retail shop. We've placed financial controllers from a construction company to a cannabis company. We've got scientists coming from universities straight into the cannabis industry. We've got people from all over, and there's a job for everyone there, as long as there is a job available by a company, of course. And if you've got the attitude and the right skill set, companies were taking a lot of chances when it was, again, pre-legalization and when legalization finally happened. So now, as the industry has grown, it's there in Canada for the last almost 2 years. People are now asking for a bit of Canadian, cannabis experience or just cannabis experience, especially with sales that we see, because people want to have salespeople who know other people in and around the area. So people can literally come from anywhere as long as they want to be in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, I've personally experienced this. I had media experience, and now I'm in the cannabis media space. Even during COVID, when the social distancing laws came into place, I think in America, I believe the same happened in Canada, they had to implement delivery services. They had different apps you could use for cannabis. So there are a lot of ways that the industry is evolving in real time, and the jobs are catching up to that. And, if you're a delivery driver, it doesn't matter if you're delivering food or if you're delivering cannabis, the skills are the same. But I think a lot of people wouldn't intuitively think that, which is pretty funny. But I think we'll see this kind of mass shift from, the more conventional industries to people really moving to cannabis. And are you seeing this now, this real excitement and curiosity around the industry?
Absolutely. It was such a great point that you touched that. Yeah, delivery driver is a delivery driver, be it food or Amazon packages or cannabis, for that matter. Where I also see a lot of excitement is for the hospitality sector. If you see when COVID hit, what were people in hospitality, let's say travel and tourism or the restaurant industry, what were they going to do? They have the most transferable skills. They are beautifully trained in the customer service roles. And those are direct transferable skills for people to become a bud tender, to become a store manager. And it's a no-brainer. Like, you've got customer service experience in one industry, bring it here, educate yourself, go through the training with the cannabis, let's say a retail chain, and apply those skills. The hard skills can always be taught. The soft skills are the tough one. It's always the tough one. But we see a lot of opportunity for jobs, and that's for everybody. Like you mentioned, it's from a delivery driver to a financial controller to a sales and marketing person. I believe it could be for everybody. Graphic designers, I never thought, but imagine companies are coming up with products. You need those designers to come and design stuff for you. UX, UI, there's a job for everybody. That's, again, my understanding and my belief.
Yeah. And again, I've personally experienced this. We work with graphic designers at my work, and, you know, looking even just Google image cannabis images. And because I do this every single day, within a few months, I came to the end of basically the original cannabis images. And I was just seeing the same things over and over again and noticing that, you know, photography, graphic design, these are crucial because of how new the industry is. There's so much room to get in as like an early mover and really establish yourself within the space, that it's going to be very exciting for the people that are here now to see where they end up in 10 years when the industry is much bigger. But are you noticing at CanMar, in your experience, that there are any particular jobs that are kind of the highest in demand at the moment within the cannabis space? Is there kind of a drought of any particular skill or industry knowledge that people are looking for in the cannabis space?
So most of the jobs that are coming to us right now are for sales and marketing, and of course a lot of senior leadership roles. But sales and marketing is one of them, and then quality assurance. Then
Mm.
the cultivation side, we have many jobs coming on that side as well. Honestly, I can't say that, okay, there are 100 jobs in quality assurance and only 10 on the other. We've got a mixed bag of clients all over the place. But quality assurance, cultivation, sales and marketing are the top jobs right now that we are seeing. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because my father is actually somewhat in the quality assurance industry, and he's mentioned to me that his work will reach out to cannabis companies because obviously, you know, when you're dealing with a high volume of pharmaceutical products, there's still standards that you need to meet regardless of what you're making, similar to, you know, the delivery driver. And again, it's one of those examples of things that there's so many facets of the cannabis industry that need facilitating and that need employment that, you know, people just naturally do not think about. Would you have any advice for someone that's, say, passionate about cannabis or is not yet in the industry, that has no idea of how to get in the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our conference, Global Conference and Expo, coming up on October
Mm.
the 3rd, and it'll go up till October 23rd to the 25th. We put together about 20 different panels. You know, there are going to be about 3 to different panelists on each of the panel, but there are going to be different topics. This will be a great opportunity for people, for those curious minds, you know, who want to learn more about the industry. What is the industry about? I would ask all of them to come and join the conference and expo and learn from the people who have been in the industry. So, or the type of jobs. We have a particular um, a panel called the People and Culture, and then we have Career series happening, in which some of the experts from our team and outside are going to come and talk about the different jobs, you know, like you asked, which are the most common jobs or highly in demand type of jobs. And our team and some other experts from other companies will come and speak on those jobs. It'll be a great opportunity for people to not only educate themselves, learn about the careers, and you know, the careers in different parts of the industry globally. And these 20 panels and the panelists are from all over the world. So you will see a lot of Australian faces, a lot of people from New Zealand, UK, you know, India, China, US, Canada, you name it, and people are joining from every part of the world. And this is our way of giving back to the community as well, because I believe cannabis industry is the most welcoming industry if you're going in for the right reasons. Now, the tickets are very affordable for anybody wanting to come and learn about careers, educate themselves, and gain some knowledge. It's only $20, out of which $4.20 will be given to a charity. And the person who's actually buying that ticket makes a choice. They pick what charity this money goes to.
Wow.
So it's a win-win, you know, for everybody. You're helping, plus you're educating yourself, and you are learning. So
Mm.
that would be my advice.
Yeah, well, it's such a powerful thing, education in such a new industry. I mean, I saw a study, I can't remember where it came from, but it talked about doctors, and it said one of the biggest barriers to doctors prescribing medicinal cannabis products is a lack of confidence, because they haven't been trained in the benefits of cannabis. They don't know necessarily about how cannabis can help with, say, inflammation or with epilepsy, if they haven't then gone through that training in their own time and taken, maybe paid their own money to learn about it personally. So I think education is so important in this industry, especially for people trying to get in the space and learning just some of the technical terms, even learning some of the concepts about cannabis. Would you say, and obviously you might be biased, but would you say there's any particular panelist or panel that you're excited about, or that you see as something that people should really listen to, or is it just the whole event, would you say?
Hey, like you said, I'm going to be a little biased here, but I love each and every panel. And but people and culture is, of course, very close to my heart, because I've been in HR for the last 15 years and recruitment. But diversity and inclusion is also another really interesting topic, and we all need to be conscious of we're not living 40 years from now when these things could happen. We're living in a different time. So I love that topic, where people come and really address that topic of diversity and inclusion, and really welcoming everybody. And there are 20 topics. I would encourage everybody to go to the CanMar'S.com website, take a look at the speakers page, and the topics are outlined there. And they're really interesting topics.
They are. And when you mentioned diversity and inclusion, and you may know this, I've seen several studies or statistics reports that the cannabis industry has a disproportionate amount of females in executive positions. And it's, for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure, maybe, as you mentioned, the tolerance and the acceptance of the cannabis industry, it's so new, it's so accepting, it hasn't really formed yet. It's still kind of malleable. So it is exciting to see kind of how it's going to take shape over the next few years. But you also mentioned giving back. You also mentioned that you want to do this to give back to the community. And that seems to be one of the biggest motivators for your initial career in recruitment, is the story you mentioned of your friend who was depressed and perhaps suicidal. And you've also lived quite a philanthropic life. You've done a lot of this giving back. Can you tell our audience a little bit more about your experiences in giving back?
We as humans do everything for ourselves 24/7. But the fact that you are able to help and make a difference in someone else's life, even by doing the smallest of things, it makes your life more meaningful. Always believed in it, will always believe in the same philosophy, that you just don't live for yourself. You should make a difference when you can. And like I said, it turns the meaning. It's just very fulfilling. And I can't explain how I feel when I help or I'm able to support somebody, but that feeling is priceless. That's what I'm going to say. We support a few of the kids' programs here, with sports. We want kids to be on the right path. And we do a bit of work, and we do as much as we can. The fact that you are able to support someone's family, put food on their table, send their kid to school, a university, so yeah, we just want to make as much of a difference as we can.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what we were saying initially, that a job is not, it's amazing to provide for your family and to put food on the table, but you're also providing value to someone. You're also, in a way, with every job, you are helping people. And that is an experience that I think everyone needs and that everyone will benefit from. And that oftentimes we forget. Oftentimes we get so caught up in me. I need to get this. I need to do this. I need to progress. But it doesn't actually help the soul. It doesn't actually fulfill people in the same sense that, even helping an old lady cross the road, carrying her back, something simple, something small, but it provides so much more value than just chasing money and things like that. But CanMar'S,
More kind people, one thing I do hear, and I read a lot about this, that we should all know that just be kind to others, and do whatever you can. It's one life we have. Make a difference in someone else's life, and it'll be extremely amazing. That feeling is priceless. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that saying that people won't remember what you said; they'll remember how you make them feel, and it's so true. And if you ever lose someone, you always think of not necessarily words they've told you, but their essence, what they've imparted into you through just how they are as human beings. And it's something extremely powerful, and it's something that I think we all could get more in tune with. But just to touch back on CanMar'S event, this is not the first event that CanMar ran. So can you tell me a little bit about the prior event that you guys ran?
Absolutely. It excites me to actually share this information with you, because it was a living example, living through our mission statement that we have, which is changing lives. So when COVID started, we were reaching out to many of our clients, asking them, "Hey, would you like to hire?" And many of the companies were not even our clients. And everybody said, "Yeah, we cannot pay for your services." And we went back to the drawing board. Okay, is it the money part, or is it the values that we want to live by? What is it? Of course, it was a very challenging time, to say the least. We had to do so much in order to survive that period. We are into a business of getting people jobs, and the whole world was laying off people from their jobs. So it was totally the opposite. Anyways, so we went back to the companies. They had no budgets, so we went back to the team, brought up the challenge, and we decided that we weren't going to charge even a single cent for our services. If you have jobs, please come and present it to people. People are at their lowest point. This is that time that you can really help not only yourselves, you can help everybody. If you are hiring, and companies were hiring, it's just that they didn't want to pay for the services, and which is okay. And we went to, there were 20 amazing companies that joined us. Like I said, a few were clients. Many of them were not even our clients, but they were amazing enough to come and join us and be a part of what we were doing. We called it CanMar Career Day, and we were expecting about 200 people, but Louis, we had more than 1,200 people join us.
Wow.
5 different countries: Australia, New Zealand, India, Germany, UK, US, Canada. Actually, that makes it 6 or 7, but yeah. So don't have an exact count, but there were people from all over. I personally know of 16 people who got jobs with different companies. So, and I don't know who else got a job, but again, those were 16 people you're talking about, but how about their families, or if they had kids? There's so many people you're able to touch and change their life, and we lived through our mission statement pretty well. I'd say proud of our team for putting up that event, and also for those companies who supported and hired those people. Kudos to all of them. So yeah, that was the previous event. And because of that event, a lot of people reached out to us saying, "Guys, can you do something bigger, better, more information on education, so on and so forth?" And we're not an events company, honestly. And before this, we weren't. And now we were like, okay, if nobody else is going to do it, let us take charge, and we are going to do it. And we are going to help people as much as we can. And we've done that through CanMar Recruitment by getting people jobs. It's time that we get them education and information about the industry. And hence we have the CTCE, which is CanMar Global Conference and Expo 2020, happening on October the 23rd now.
Amazing. I mean, what an amazing story. And I can't imagine the feeling you would have had going from struggling to even put on the event to having over 1,000 people more than expected. I mean, that's phenomenal. And again, it's a testament to what you guys do at CanMar. It's a testament to the passion behind the cannabis industry, and it's going to grow. And I think it will continue to get bigger every year. And I urge anyone listening to this to definitely check out that event on the 23rd of October. It's 3 days, no matter where you're based, you can attend. I think it's going to be amazing. I'll definitely be watching. But just aside from that event, what has CanMar got on the horizon?
So CanMar'S, well, we want to expand globally. We want to be able to, wherever there is cannabis, be it medically or recreationally, in any capacity, we want to be there. We want to be able to help those companies find the best talent, but also we want to help those job seekers find the best jobs, because by the end of the day, people spend most of the time at their jobs, and whatever hours they are at home and back to work again. So you want to be at a good place. So we want to make sure we are educating those companies as well with good practices, because retention is something. So it's a big thing for, it's an important thing for any business. And we've been in the industry for a few years now, and we can educate those companies, educate the job seekers, help them come meet in the middle and start their journey. Because like you said, this is a very exciting time. I know, leaving aside the COVID part, but we have to look at the right and the bright side of life too. That as we are talking, we are alive, we are breathing. So cannabis industry is here to stay. It's an extremely welcoming industry, and there are jobs for everybody as long as you want to work and you've got the right attitude, and you're a good cultural fit for a company. And we want to do it at a global level and be educating people about this. This industry never existed. It's been there for hundreds of years. I mean, cannabis has been there, but legally speaking, like 2 years in Canada. And this is something that happened with the tech sector many years ago. There was a tech boom. It created a lot of tech jobs. This is where I see the cannabis industry going, and CanMar playing its part. That I believe it's going to create millions and millions of jobs all over the world. And we want to be there to help maneuver people through the industry and through their jobs and their careers as the industry grows all over the world.
Amazing. And it's such a valuable service, as I've mentioned throughout this interview, that I can't overstate the necessity of a company like CanMar and others, in the education space right now, helping the industry grow and helping people learn about how to get involved. And you kind of touched on this, but lastly, KD, where do you see the cannabis industry headed? What is the trajectory for what is already a nascent but quickly growing industry?
I'd say extraction and the cultivation side. The micro cultivators, absolutely. That's where I see the industry going. Of course, we are going to see a lot of competition between retailers as the municipalities legalize, the states or the provinces legalize. But extraction is definitely something. It's hot, for sure.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me, KD. I really appreciate it. It was great chatting with you. I look forward to the event again on the 23rd of October. Thank you so much.
Louis, it's been a pleasure. And once again, we would love to have people from all over Australia, New Zealand, every part of the world come join us. And this will be a great learning for all of us. That's the only thing I would say. And we are absolutely delighted and extremely excited to do the 23rd of October to see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, thank you, KD. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you then. I'll see you at the 23rd.
Thank you.
Have a great day.